Malcolm Mawinni lived a simple life. He loved cricket, he loved helping the homeless, but no one knew that he was sitting on a gold mine and no one expected what he'd do with his fortune.
This is a story about a man named Malcolm Mawinni. We'd show you more pictures of him, but there aren't that many. He lived alone in this house, a house his friends joked was held together with pigeon poo. He liked cricket and sitting in his back room. That's him captured on Google Street Maps. And once a week for 10 years, he'd volunteer here, Bill Cruz's Exodus Foundation, a charity which helps the homeless and vulnerable.
You never knew how much he had earned or where he came from or what he did, but you had an idea he was a bit of a battler. He didn't look much different to a lot of our guests, so that, you know, he was just one of us.
Malcolm died in 2021, aged 75.
His friends rung up and they said, Bill, Malcolm's died and we want to scatter his ashes on the cricket ground. So I turned up, dutifully, to do it, and then I found his friends and they began to tell me his backstory. They said, look, he's got this house and he's going to leave you the house, but it's, you know, it's all run down, so it didn't really click.
After a stroke, Malcolm had to stop volunteering. He'd spend his final few months living here with barely any contact, just the way he liked it. No one knew he was quietly planning one final act of kindness.
He spent most of his life working with us, working with the homeless people, and I was really surprised when they said he'd left his house to us.
No one at Exodus even knew Malcolm owned a home, let alone this 2-bedroom property at Sydney's prized Clovelly. You've been in this industry a while. I bet you've never come across anything quite like this before.
Well, not as exciting as this.
Bill followed through with the volunteer's final wish. He asked Tony Andriacchio from Rain and Horn to sell the home. The proceeds would go straight to the charity Mal loved. Now, when you went and first had a look at the house, what did you think?
I thought he lived, let's say, you know, very poorly.
Look at all these expensive houses. It's funny, Australia seems to be dividing more and more, doesn't it, between the haves and the have-nots.
Mal might have lived like a have-not, but it turns out he had a lot.
I'm getting anxious. It's almost 12 o'clock and not a lot of families have turned up. I was thinking, I had my dream that this place would be crowded with people. Well, it's not, so you just have to see how it goes.
Well, welcome along, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get the auction underway. On behalf of Rain and Horn, welcome to the auction.
It started at about 3 million, took forever to get to 3.5, then kept pushing, and then it got close to 4.
Second time at 4 million. 4.1. 4.2.
Then we announced that the beneficiary was Bill Cruz.
4,350 I've got. 4.4 now. You want it? Scratching your head. Any extra? I'm going to sell. Make no mistake about it. 4 million. 450. Bidder number 9. Sold, sir. Sorry about that. 4 million.
$4.5 million. Bill and the charity volunteers couldn't believe it.
He knew Bill would look after it. He knew Bill would use the money to help others.
What he's done for this church is incredible, because Bill was saying that they're starting to run short of, you know, food and so forth.
Exodus feeds 600,000 needy people a year. And thanks to the man they knew as Mal, no one will go hungry for now. How do you think Malcolm Mawinni will be remembered?
The other day, this woman turned up. She's 60 years old. She's lost her job. She's got a son, an eldest son she looks after who's disabled. She's got issues herself. She has to battle between food and medicines and all of that. and she comes here for help, and we're able to help her. That's how he'll be remembered. He'll be remembered in this woman knowing she can survive for a bit longer.
Such an incredible gift. It will change so many lives. The ultimate act of kindness.